there's a real specific reason that that I put only for hustlers because I see and I'll get into it, but right now I see a division among uh, how people are being introduced to network marketing online and versus what some are doing, what some believe it takes, what some people are after, and quite frankly, any of my trainings they're not designed to um, to make you a guru. They're designed to make you money. And so if you're getting into this industry, I hope that one of your goals is money. And it also can, what that means as well is it means time. I know some people that have plenty of money, but they don't have the lifestyle that they desire. And that's one thing that network marketing has done for me, done for my family, and we'll talk about that. Now, some of you on here, and we have we got over 800 people on here right now, so I'm positive at least 2 or 3 people have no idea who I am. And so I'll go very, very briefly. I won't dwell on this, but I'll go very briefly over my story and a little bit about me. I was born in southern Indiana, so I'm a Hoosier. I moved to Southwest Florida about 22 years ago, and currently live in Fort Myers, Florida. Went to high school in Cape Coral, and I've been there. It got a little chilly today, Norbert. It got down to I think 57. Is that? I'm not sure if that's cold where you are, but
Brr, brr. No, that'd be like a balmy day over here right now.
Yeah, you'd be in a tank top, huh?
Yeah, I'd be suntanning.
That's funny. But yeah, in Southwest Florida, and definitely loving that. I've always been an entrepreneur, and in middle school, I sold airheads. I went out there and I found a place where I could get airheads for 10 cents each and sell them for a quarter, and I was moving 90 to 100 a day in the 8th grade at Trafalgar Middle School. And what's funny is I never had anyone to nourish me as an entrepreneur. No one ever taught me the ropes. My mom, not an entrepreneur. Dad, not an entrepreneur. No one really around me was. And so I really didn't get that nourishment. In high school, I was my actual, believe it or not, my senior superlative was party animal, right? So I kind of hung out with the bad crowd, didn't get the greatest grades, didn't have the best attendance, didn't get a whole lot of that right. And so if you're here watching this and you also struggled in school, well, there's hope. There's hope for you. I went on, I followed what everyone told me to do, which is go get a job and work your way up corporate America, and that's what I did. At the age of I think like 26, I was making about a little bit over $80,000 a year, salary job, and but I was miserable. It stunk. I didn't like going into work, and I'll tell you, when you don't like what you do for 8 to 10 hours a day, that carries home with you. It's not fantastic. And I remember when I decided to go out and start my own business, everyone told me I was crazy. The number one thing that people would ask me, Norbert, they'd say, well, Ray, what are you going to do about benefits? And I'm like, buy them. You buy them for 150 bucks a month. It's not that big of a deal. But some people will stay in a job that they hate for 30, 40 years because of the stupid benefits. And so I don't subscribe to that. So when I saw the CEO of my company and how he operated, I decided, you know what, I want that lifestyle. I want to show up in sneakers and a Hawaiian shirt and wave to people and jump on a plane to the Bahamas. That's the lifestyle that I want. And so I left corporate America right around about 26, maybe 27, and I started doing real estate. Down here in Florida, I started flipping houses as a real estate investor. And in fact, I put on something on this webinar that I think you'll get a kick out of, Norbert, and everyone else. I was always kind of a creative marketer, and so I would do things that that got attention, that got media, that got leads. And so I went out there and I bought a used U-Haul. And I had it vinyl lettered up, and I would park it at different locations, and You know, that was I actually bought a few houses and flipped a few houses using those kind of tactics. Now, you know, this is kind of funny. I mean, I got that for $2,500. Had a vinyl letter for $700, and you know, got some leads. So I made, you know, tens of thousands of dollars off of that. Instead of hiring this mobile media to drive around with my ad for you know, $2,000-3,000 a month, I just bought it. You know, I just bought one and had it parked at different locations. So it was kind of funny. We did a lot of creative stuff back then. Real estate didn't work out. You know, did you like that picture, Norbert, by the way?
Yeah, that was awesome.
And you know, real estate. You know, I'm very grateful for it, and you know, and I learned a lot, but I didn't adapt quickly enough, and so I found myself dead broke actually. About 18, maybe 19 months ago, I was literally dead broke, and I know I'm positive there's a few people on the line that can relate with that. I know a lot of people. In fact, in January of 2011, just last month, 2 million people lost their unemployment checks. So that means that they had been on unemployment for so long that they lost those checks. 2 million people, largest number in U.S. history. And you know, I saw a study with Yahoo. Yahoo Finance said that you know, there's a whole lot of people turning age 65 in the U.S. every single day, and 40% of them believe they will work until they die. You know, I don't think that was their plan. At least I hope it wasn't. I hope it's no one on this line. And so 18, 19 months ago, I was dead broke, struggling. It was actually the second time I was dead broke in my life. And I can tell you that, you know, I got into Lead System Pro. I got into my primary company and was able to turn that around. And in fact, just a few months ago, back in August, actually, of 2010, and 2010 was actually my best financial year ever. And I can tell you I did pretty good in real estate. But back in August, my company actually gave me the keys to a brand new BMW 7 Series. That's a $100,000 car. It's about 4 times better than any car I've ever had. I've also won 5 fully paid for vacations. So when people ask me, hey, does this thing work? I say, absolutely. It certainly works. Of course, it works if you work. And so what I'm going to share with you tonight is some of the strategies that I've used and some of the you know, some of the ways for you to generate leads so that you can go out there and have some success. Now, I want to share with you because I get this a lot. You know, I have people tell me, they say, well, Ray, you don't understand because I've been in all kinds of network marketing companies. I've pitched my warm market, this and that, and you know, I've never made it. I've always been jumping from this to that, trying to look for the gold at the end of the rainbow. And let me just share with you my list, okay? This is the list of companies that I've failed at. And I don't list their names out of respect, but these are all the different products that I've done, okay? And I want you to keep one thing in mind. My very first time I was in network marketing was February of 2006. And so over a 5-year stint, these are all the companies I failed at. And so if you have failed at network marketing before, well, congratulations, because that's part of the journey. You know, it's so rare for someone to get into their very first company and become a #1 income earner or become a top income earner. It's so rare for that to happen that it just rarely happens, hardly ever happens. You know, so I was in a whole bunch of other companies. Some of them I didn't make a dime in. Others I made a little bit of money. None of it lasted. And so to go from failing this many times and being dead broke with no advertising budget, with no money in my pocket, to becoming the #1 income earner in my primary company, if I can do it, you guys can do it. And I'll tell you, I'm not, you know, like Norbert said, I'm not the technical guru. You know, I'm not the uber techie guy. You know, I do some things. I try to make things simple, and I try to do things that work. But I'm going to share with you some things that anybody can do. And I'll tell you, that's what's so important, is it's not just what works, it's what duplicates. And so the things that I'm going to share with you tonight, these are things that actually duplicate. So what you're going to learn, you're going to learn about clarity on the internet, MLM and making money. What is real? You know, a lot of times I talk to somebody and I don't think they have realistic expectations You know, they want certain things that you just don't typically have when you're brand new. I'm going to share with you 10 different, and let me tell you, these are very different lead generation tactics. You see, I am standing on the shoulders of giants. I'm standing on the shoulders of great marketers. MLSP has the best marketers on planet Earth. And so here they're asking me to talk about lead generation, the non-techie guy, and when they've already had so many amazing trainings on generating leads, so I have to be a little creative. So you're going to see some creative ways to generate leads, but the couple things that I guarantee is they do work, and they do duplicate, which is so much more important. Some of these are online. I'll tell you, most of them are offline, and I can already hear the groans. Oh, Ray, I don't want to be offline. Well, I'm going to share with you why you want to be. There's many, many reasons why you want to be as well, online and offline. And I'm going to share with you the one word that you should desire to be if you want to be a top incomer. I'm going to share that with you here in a second. I put this in here. Why you should be at an 11. That's kind of a funny joke. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Spinal Tap, but they turn the little knob to 11. You want to be at an 11 because a 10 just isn't enough. And I'm also going to talk about how not to get frustrated. So let's talk about this. Now, first of all, I hear a lot of internet marketers that pride themselves on, I don't have to pick up the phone. No, I never get on the phone. You know, I just have magically delicious leads that come in through my funnel and prance like little baby ponies into my stable of cash bin, right? And, you know, it's ridiculous, okay? You know, you can be taught how to build this business online or offline. You just can't build a sustainable business without using the telephone. I'm telling you that right now. You can't do it. Can you get leads without using the phone? Yes, you can. Can you have a sustainable business that actually works without using the phone in network marketing? I don't believe you can. I've never seen it done. Now, I've seen people that got a whole bunch of sign-ups at first. Maybe they made a bunch of cash that first month or even their second or third month, but none of them have lasted that I've seen in network marketing, okay? Now, I'll tell you a little story. I have a good friend of mine named Dave out in Sacramento. This gentleman, he did very, very well in a company you have all heard of, a company called Amway. That company will do $9 billion this year. But Dave left that company. He built that company for about a dozen years. He left that company, stopped building his business 22 years ago. Before the internet, before cell phones, 22 years ago, he left that business. He stopped doing it. They continued to pay him over $10,000 a month. That's network marketing. It is not going from deal to deal to deal to try to find what's easiest. It is working your business to a degree, building leaders over a period of years to build a massive amount of wealth that will always and continually pay you. That's what I see with network marketing. I hope you don't see it as a get rich quick, as a how much can I make in 30 days or anything like that. Do not go into this business thinking you'll never have to get better at the phone or ever use the phone, because I just don't buy it. Are you a hoper or are you a hustler? There's a lot of people that are hopers. There's a lot of people that you know, they'll do some of the steps that it takes to be successful online marketers, but then they slip into hopers. You know, if you're writing 10 articles a day, a week, a month, whatever, if you're writing and you're doing a lot of passive marketing in my definition is you're doing something in the hopes that an unnamed individual will respond to, okay? Now, I do that stuff. I do blogging, I do videos, I do articles. I believe in all that stuff, but I don't stop there. Why? Because I'm a hustler, not a hoper, okay? If you aren't talking to a certain number of human beings, because that's where the money is, if you're not talking to a certain number of human beings each and every day, I just don't know that you'll ever build a business, a serious business, okay? So we're going to teach you tonight how not to be a hoper, but how to be a hustler. And, you know, a lot of people, they want to skip certain steps. The names that you know, the Mike Dillards of the world, the Falcones of the world, the Norbert, the Bryans, the guys that you have heard of, the celebrity marketers, if you will, okay? A lot of people, they want to live that lifestyle without putting the amount of work that those hustlers put in. You can't get there. You just can't do it. You're going to go through some challenges, and they're the exact same challenges that, that those leaders went through, except those leaders never gave up, and I hope that you don't give up. And I'm telling you right now, if you want to make money now, stop hoping, stop only relying on your passive marketing and start getting out there and actually getting leads. Start actually getting out there, connecting with human beings, online and offline. Start using that phone. And, you know, I'll tell you, that right there, if you want to make fast money, it is all dependent on how many individuals you connect with each and every day. So a little warning here, nothing technical. I mean, this is so non-techy, this presentation, but it's highly duplicatable, which is where the real money is. Do you realize that, do you know, I mean, it's almost impossible for you to make $100,000 or more a year with just your sheer efforts, okay? But if you get a few leaders, and in fact, I love what Mark Yarnell says. Mark Yarnell, who is this guy? Well, he's only been in network marketing 24 years and has made over $30 million. He says that if you want to make $100,000 a month within 12 months of your business, you ready for this? You need to go out there and talk to 30 people a day, 5 days a week. Now, I remember I told that to somebody. I told that to someone that joined my primary company. I told that, and he said, man, well, that's the hard way. There's no easy way to get to $100,000 a month in this business. If you have that level of hustle, if you have that level of desire, number one, I commend you. I congratulate you. I think that's awesome. But you're going to have to hustle. No question, you're going to have to hustle. So let's jump into it. So tactic number one. This one, and I have a little chart on the left here. You'll notice I don't use a whole lot of fancy graphics in this presentation, but I'm going to jump right into tactic number one. Tactic number one, use the system. Guys, Brian and Norbert have really revolutionized, and Todd, I'm sorry, Todd, I've been forgetting your name, but the gentlemen here at Lead System Pro have put together something really, really awesome for you guys, and that they've put together system funnels that you can literally copy and paste. I have people tell me, well, Ray, I don't know how to create a capture page. Or Ray, I don't know how, I haven't been able to finish setting up my funnel because, you know, Oprah's been on all week and I've really been focused on, you know, those episodes. And okay, I understand. Well, from day one of being a member of Lead System Pro, you can actually use the copy-paste system. In the MLSP back office, under my websites, under MLSP system campaigns, you have, I believe, you have either 3 or 4 different already set up capture pages for you. Very, very simple to use. All you have to do is copy and paste that link and paste it, and you have leads. Now that's pretty powerful. You have to understand that. You can have leads right away. Now the cool thing is those webinars, those are high content webinars. They have great content in them that people are interested in. It's not just a pitch. It's not just a pitch for Lead System Pro. These are content-driven webinars that you can use. My suggestion down there, watch the webinars, write down some tidbits and advertise them that way. You know, for example, I have a Twitter one back there, okay? And I mark it, the Twitter training is awesome, right? That's my training, that's a shameless plug. And, but when you're prospecting, okay, always remember to ask them these questions. You know, ask them, well, hey, are you generating, you know, very many leads on Twitter right now? Do you know 9 people out of 10 aren't? 9 people out of 10 have no clue how to generate leads on Twitter. And so you can say, well, hey, check out this webinar. You might like it. It may or may not be for you. And send them the link, the already set up capture page that you have for Twitter. Now, there's 3 or 4 other ones back there, but the Twitter page, it looks like this. That is already set up for you. Isn't that cool? And, you know, I forget how long that is, probably about an hour. of how to automate Twitter leads. And that's something that you can do from day one. I know some people that they seem to take forever to set up their Lead System Pro funnel, and this is something that's set up right away. So you have something immediately. You can go out there and generate leads. And my estimated leads is you can get at least 5 a day with this system. Why? I've tested it. I've thrown it out there on Twitter. I said, hey, check out the software this guy talks about for automating your Twitter. People opt into that. Even though it's me talking about it, I say, hey, check it out, this guy. The same thing that you can say. You can place it on Facebook. Hey, here's some free Twitter training for you. People are looking for that because they have no clue how to use Twitter. And I'll tell you, Twitter is one of the highest traffic sites out there, so you have a lot of interest in people that are interested in that. Now, this is something that, and you notice the Hustler rank? Well, the Hustler rank is, I kind of rank it on a level, a level 1, which is the copy-paste method. That means you literally do not have to be a hustler to use that method. The Hustler rank is going to vary on all 10 tactics, okay? This I see as a Hustler rank of 4, and that is working events. And this one is not putting on events, it's working events, okay? And so the estimated time here, 2 to 3 hours a week. You look in your paper, look on meetup.com. I know Casey has a training on meetup.com. Look on what are the meetings going on in your area? What are the charity events? What are the high-end events? What are the car shows, the boat shows? What are the events going on in your area? Pick 2 of them. And if you pick 2 per week and you follow what I'm saying here, that I'm going to bring up here in a second, if you follow what I'm saying here, you're going to have 50 leads minimum from working these 2 events. But there's a couple key factors. You want to find good networking events and get, okay, don't give out, but receive, get as many business cards as possible without introducing what you do. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, well, Ray, this is an offline tactic. It works. And I'll tell you, if you can sponsor people in your local area, that's a double dip. Why? Because if you really want to drive depth in your organization, at some point, you're going to have to do physical events. Every billion-dollar company in network marketing has done physical events. They sell more product, they get more excitement, people get pumped up. And if you can sponsor people locally, whether you met them online or offline, to me, that's worth 2 points rather than 1. Okay? Go to these networking events. Get as many business cards as possible without pitching whatever it is you're doing. Okay? You don't have to pitch your stuff. Ask people questions. Ask them, how'd you get into your business? Ask them about their family. Ask them about, what they've been up to. And then you do something magical. You follow up with them the next day on the phone. And I'll tell you, why does that work so well? Because no one does it. Everyone is at that networking event trying to promote their own thing, whatever that thing is, whether it's real estate, whether it's title company, whether it's whatever kind of event you're going to. People are either there, they're not doing this, and this works. If you go there, and I actually used to, if you want to leverage this, you could actually send people. You could hire people. You could actually have people go to events that you found were worthwhile events where you had the perfect kind of prospects, maybe prospects that are more affluent, maybe whatever. Have people go there, or you go there, and go there with an empty pocket. You don't have to create flyers. You don't have to give out business cards. You go there with empty pockets, and you collect as much information from people that you can run into. Then you follow up with them the next day. And you follow up with them and say, hey, I met you at this event. You seem like a real nice person. I really didn't get a whole lot of time to chat with you, but hey, I'm just throwing it out there. Would you be open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? You'd be shocked. You'd be shocked and amazed. In this economy, how many people are going to say yes to that? How many people are going to say, well, what is it? Or yes, they want to know more information. That is how you start generating leads. Now, this right here, this is something that will probably cost you very, very little, and you can generate, guarantee you go to 2 events in your area, and you can get 50 business cards and give them a call. Now, some people will shoot a video every day, will blog every day, and they'll wait. They'll wait, look at their watch. Hey, I hope I get some leads soon. Okay, I'm not saying not to do those things. This is for the hustler that wants to make money tomorrow. This is for the hustler that doesn't want to just wait for leads. You want to go out there and get them today. That's what's possible. And if you work it properly, you're never going to offend anyone. You're never going to be embarrassed. That's why this at a hustler rank of 4, you don't have to be that aggressive to do this tactic. You go out there, you ask people questions, listen, grab their business card. Now, here's something funny. I was at a big event in Miami a few years ago, and I saw there was this one person, and they clearly weren't a speaker because they weren't in a suit and tie or anything like that, but there was this one person that had an army of people around them. And I'm like, wow, I got to go meet this person. What's going on? And so I went there, and I took a look, and I didn't notice anything. I was like, man, what's going on there? And I noticed what this person had done, which I think is hilarious, and I think it would take your hustler rank up to a 9. Now, this would only work for a really big event, like when there's a lot of people. If there's 30 people in the room, you're going to look really weird doing this. But if there's a lot of people, a big event like a Learning Annex where there's probably 1,200, 2,000 people there or something, this person had it. He took a handwritten note and put, "I'm looking for partners to work on a side project," and he had taped it to his own back. And people walk by, and if someone has something taped to their back, they kind of check it out. Now that's thinking outside the box. And so people were lined up to talk to this person. How funny is that? Isn't that offline attraction marketing? Is that offline attraction marketing, Norbert? Maybe he's tied up, but I just thought that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Just thinking outside the box. Now here's an interesting one too.
Ray, I got to ask you, man, have you ever done that at an event?
I have not. I have not done it, but I've seen it work. I've seen it work.
We got to get you on a video of actually doing that, man. We'll have to set that up. That would be hilarious.
I'll tell you, I would never have thought about that. Never in a million years would I have thought about it until I saw that person do it, and it worked. Again, this is for a big event. If you don't know, and guess what? That person probably knew no one there. Nobody. But here they had a crowd around them because, number one, it was humorous. Number two, the person had something to offer. Let's find out what they have to offer. And it worked. So, that's the point. Now, this I read, and I actually know some people that have used this to get a lot of leads, and it's something that, I bump up the hustler rank a little bit here, but contest entry boxes. These are things that you can put offline, put around in your area, in high traffic areas, and collect leads. You can give away something. Some people give away a cruise. Some people give away gift certificate to Barnes & Noble. You can give away something. You can incorporate, maybe incorporate, a charity, maybe JV with a charity. And if you do that, you would actually get more buy-in from the places that you're putting those boxes. And, this is something that, I've seen some interesting ways to do this, and it's kind of on your comfort level. I heard, some people, putting it in high traffic areas without asking permission. That's kind of your call. But I can tell you, when you're giving away something, you can, number one, you can get a lot of leads, and you can whip through them very quickly. Now, keep in mind, I do not believe in wining and dining leads. I don't believe in having open luncheons where you're buying everyone dinner or buying everyone lunch or spending a whole lot of time with people. I believe in quick qualifications. And so calling these people and saying, hey, I got your entry, you didn't, of course, honor your certificate and give away whatever it is you're going to give away, but say, hey, you didn't win the grand prize, but you got the second prize, which is an ebook on how to make money online. And if they express interest in that, well, hey, that could be an interesting lead. If they say, oh, no thanks, well then, maybe that's not a good lead for you. But you've qualified them very quickly. And again, I know the number one thing that people are looking for initially when they're getting into this game is how can I get leads? Because you know what leads mean? Leads mean practice too. And you can't, you're not going to be perfect on the phone at first. You want any kind of way that you can get people that you can connect with for any kind of reason is a good thing. So contest entry boxes, I thought that was a pretty interesting tactic that you can use. Now, I don't know if my man, Larry Beecham, has taught this to the MLSP community, but this is something that he taught me that is absolutely awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Larry Beecham, one of the leaders in Lead System Pro, and just all-around great guy. He uses a strategy called Post-it notes. And these Post-it notes, this is something, has a low hustler rank because it's pretty darn simple to do, and you don't have to have a lot of gumption to do it. You can just do it. And how this works is you take these Post-it notes, you get a stamp, and you stamp a message on these Post-it notes, and you stick them all around town in high traffic areas. And, Larry calls it his mobile classified ads. All right, mobile classified ads. I think that's hilarious. And these are things that, you have a little stamp, and I even give you a sample here. What about this? What about superstars only? Make $50,000 to $300,000. Don't even call unless you're a producer and can prove it. Because here's the only problem with Post-it notes. The Post-it note strategy will get you calls. It will. It absolutely will get you calls. Now, if you don't do any amount of qualification, then you're going to get a whole lot more tire kickers than possible. Now, where I would send them, and Larry actually suggests this as well, is send them to a Google Voice number, or if you have your own, separate number, whatever, and try and weed them out with that message as well. But if you leave something like that, this is more of a posturing and a qualification. This is going to get you a higher quality lead. Someone that even considers themselves a superstar, that's going to be better than the majority of people that are going to, for example, the contest entry box. That's going to attract about everybody, depending on what you have as a giveaway. This is something that should weed out. But I'll tell you, I was talking to Larry, who's been doing this strategy a lot longer than I have, and his best day, he put out 100 Post-it notes, had 35 calls. 35 calls. Well, that's not bad, okay? And, keep in mind, what did that cost him? Pennies. I mean, it cost him like a penny a note, something like that. And so, you want to think, man, it's a creative world out there. What can you do to get more leads? This is definitely one of them. Now, when they call, when you get them on the phone, they're going to ask you, well, tell me more about this. What exactly is this? Tell them, say, you know what, that's a long conversation. We can go into it if we determine to move forward, and ask them more questions. Why do you consider yourself a superstar? Why do you consider yourself a producer? What is it that you're looking for? What are your goals? And, you don't want to, blatantly, some people are going to see this, and they're going to think that it's a job. You're not saying anything about a job, okay? And what you're doing from here is you're doing one of two things. If you have, if you're doing this for your primary company, you're going to either send them to a physical event in your area, or you're going to have them watch an online video, or you could be doing this for Lead System Pro. Keep in mind, every single strategy I talk about here, you can either be using for Lead System Pro, or you could be using for your primary company. It works for either. But what it does is it gives you leads to work with. And I'll tell you, you test and track what you do with these kind of tactics, and just see what happens. Now, realtor signs. This is something that I first heard from one of the guys that you have on all the time, Todd Falcone, and it would just be crazy not to bring this up. Now, realtor signs, that's something that very, very powerful. There are people that work for commission. They're advertising for business. They're literally asking people to call them so that they can make money. And, asking this question, I'll tell you, it's one of the most powerful questions you can ask. Would you be open to a way to making an income that has nothing to do with real estate? Very powerful, question right there. Most real estate folks right now are hurting, And you want to go back here, and I'll tell you, I highlight this, but if you want to know, the full way of how to talk to realtors in this manner, Todd Falcone is the absolute man at this. But I'll tell you, this is something you would be shocked at how many times I call on realtor signs, and they're actually receptive. We sign real estate people all the time. Now, some people, you're going to be scared. You're going to be scared to pick up the phone. And I'll tell you, it isn't about your product. It isn't about the comp plan. It's just about how much of a hustler are you? How bad do you want it? One thing that you may want to consider is if you hate being on the phone, okay, what do you hate more? I'll tell you one thing that I hated more. I hated working for somebody. I hated having to ask for permission when I could go out of town. I hated asking for time off and waiting for permission to take my son to the dentist. That's what I hated. And so if you want to make things easier to do the things that you may not like, then think about the things that you definitely don't like, and which one would you prefer? Would you prefer to not have a life of freedom, to not have a life of abundance, or would you prefer to pick up the phone call? And I'll tell you, when you make that decision, your life will change. It will absolutely change. So here's another one, number 6. Free seminar / webinar. You can do either or, okay? And I'm going to give you kind of a structured way to do this. Very, very powerful way to get really what you want. And there's 2 different things you might want from this. Now, I say this is a hustler rank of 8 because it's you actually doing it. It's you getting in front of either a group online or offline. Now, you can use content from MLSP. Do you realize that you being a member of MLSP, you don't have to create content yourself. You can simply watch the webinars, watch the training, and you can have an entire seminar about things that you learned from Lead System Pro. You could have a seminar on what you're learning right now. These are tactics that small business owners could use. They're tactics that marketers could use, that network marketers could use. And I'll tell you, there's 77 million, baby boomers, and a lot of them, they don't want to use complicated ways to build their business. This is something that they could do. And so here's how you could structure it. Use some MLSP content. Do a free seminar webinar for your target. Okay, and that could be network marketers. It could be small business owners. It could be people that want to know more about social media, whatever. Okay, could be chiropractors. When Dan Kennedy started, he targeted chiropractors. It could be whatever niche that you want to target. How to market your dentist office, whatever type of person you want to target. Do a specific seminar or webinar, market that, get people to attend. Now, putting that on is pretty straightforward. Give them some tips, give them some content. You're not going to pitch your primary business. You're not, you could mention Lead System Pro, but not going to really hammer it down their throat. But here's what you do. Now, this is a pretty gangster strategy, and I've used this in a lot of events. Okay, before you begin, this is real key. You want to make sure, understand what I'm saying here. Before you begin, you want to pass out either a sheet of paper or one that's already typed out for them, and ask them, what's your number one either question or problem with online marketing? Okay, I want you to follow me here. Ask them, what is your number one question or your number one problem with online marketing? Now, in your first kind of free seminar or webinar, you're not going to have a lot of people there. You may have 5, you may have 10, you may have 20. Maybe you're an unbelievable marketer and you have 50 people in the room. Unlikely for your first seminar or webinar, but start off with that question. And by the way, any event you ever do, you want to hold on to those answers. Why? Marketing is about problem solving. It's about being in the heads of your prospects and knowing what it is that they actually want to know. Okay, what is their problems? Where's their pain? And so what you do is then, sometime during that seminar or webinar, you want to take a break and review those answers and those questions and those problems. And then you do this, okay? At the end of your free seminar or webinar, you pitch the second webinar or seminar. You say, hey, Guys, did you get a lot out of this webinar or seminar? Did you get a lot out of it? Did you get a lot of content? Did you learn a lot of things? Well, guess what? In 14 days or 10 days or 9, whatever you choose, I'm going to be doing a second webinar seminar, okay? And it's actually going to be totally free to those of you in this audience if you do this. And then you tell them. Let me give you an example. If it's a webinar, let's say you're a brand new marketer. Let's say that you're just cutting your teeth. It was your very first webinar you ever did, okay? And you had a few people on there that enjoyed it. You saw what their number one problem is through the chat or in some way, shape, or form. You're able to get that. Then you read to them. You see what their problem is. That's your next webinar or seminar. And so if they say, boy, I really wish I knew pay-per-click, okay, guess what your next webinar is? Pay-per-click. It could be a seminar as well. Now you have two options. You can either say, okay, either those of you who attended this first one, send me a video or a text testimonial on how much you liked this webinar, and I'll send you the link to the second. See how that works? Now all of a sudden, you've just generated some testimonials. Now you're going down the path of becoming an attraction marketer. Or if you want more leads, you see this is kind of your choice. You know, and this might be the choice for, actually you could use it with either. If it was a physical event, you could have a little flip camera there and shoot a quick video for a testimonial if you wanted that. You're kind of bribing them, okay? Or have this second webinar or seminar that talks about their pain and say you're free to come to the next one if you bring 2 guests. Now, is that a way for you to get more of the things that you want? Absolutely. And that's why it's such a high hustler rank. This is going to take some hustling. You got to get out there and you don't passively do this sort of thing. This is for the person that's aggressive. This is for the person that wants to make it happen. So let's move on. Let's give you another one here. And this is, you know, you hear it all the time. You hear, go for referrals, go for referrals, but no one does. No one truly goes for referrals. Well, let me tell you about someone that does. I got a buddy, Robert, in Sacramento. This guy is an animal. And I broke him down. I said, I got to learn. I got to figure out how you do this. Because, folks, he has received 157 referrals from one person. And I'll tell you, many times he has received over 50 referrals from one person. How does he do that? You know, and I know so many people on the line, you talk to a prospect, they're not interested, you hang up the phone. Don't do that. You're missing out. Huge. You have a warm body in front of you. You know, unless they're just totally negative and just someone you just don't want to associate with or spend another second with, okay, with those kind of people, definitely hang up. Get rid of them. I understand that. But unless that's the case, go down this path. Ask them. If they say no to joining your primary company, to join Lead System Pro, whatever it is that you're promoting to them, ask them. Say, hey, you've got to know someone who's been affected by the economy or lost their job. Mind if I share this with them? And shut up. Just be quiet. Don't talk anymore. Let them talk. Okay? Ask them. Know anyone that could use our help? Now, if they say, some people will immediately react, no, I don't really know that, right? Because they try to take the easy route. Don't let them take the easy way out. I want you to think about this. They've already said no to you, okay? They've already said no. There's a high chance you're not going to get them to say yes to anything. Push them. Push them a little bit. Don't be obnoxious. Don't be a bully, but push them. No, really? No one you want to help? You don't know anybody struggling? Now, if they give you a few people, contact those people and then call them back for more. Say, hey, I talked to those 3 people. They're actually pretty excited. Do you have anyone else we could talk to? Anyone that's struggling? Anyone that needs some help? Anyone that lost their job recently? Anyone in real estate? Go for that referral. And I'll tell you, some of us, we work so hard to get each and every lead. Why not maximize it? Why not squeeze the juice out of it? And you can really do that by going for referrals. Now, not all of you will be like my man Robert. Robert is a pit bull. He is a bulldog. But to receive 157 referrals from one person, hey, that's worth it. You know, some people tell him no, but not too many, because he asks them in that way. He asks them in a caring, nurturing kind of way. He's not a jerk to them, but he really goes for it. You know, when you get that precious lead, unless they're a total jerk, you want to try to squeeze the juice, get as much out of them as possible. Now, here's actually one of my favorite ones. I love this one. I think it's cool. It's something that anybody can do, and it gives you a way to get on the phone with people. And if you notice, how many of these tactics am I talking about that involve you and the phone? Well, almost every one. But I warned you. I warned you up front that this was just for hustlers. I warned you. Now there are some people on here that you see the guys that are making millions of dollars a year in network marketing, and well, Ray, they barely use the phone. Well, I'll tell you what, they did to get there. They did to get there. And unless you're there, unless you can afford to hope and wish upon a star, then I think you should be combining these kind of tactics with what you're already doing with writing articles, with blogging, with video. Do that. Create that content. I think you should I highly suggest you create 1 to 2 to 3 pieces of content every single day, but don't miss out on hustling to get leads right now. So this is the card grab. What you do is you find places in your area that have cork boards, okay? Another offline tactic for you. This is the non-techie talking to you. But you know who can duplicate this? 100% of your team. 100%, no matter what area they're in. Find places in your area that have cork boards where people place their business card for advertising. Grab them. Go there, grab them. Grab them off the cork board. Why are they there? They're there because that person wants to make some sort of money by referring their business. Okay? Grab the business cards. Shuffle them up. Call them. Say, hey, I'm not even sure I found your business card. It's on my desk. I have no idea where I even got it from. But just throwing it out there, would you be open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? You know, this is kind of similar to what Falcone teaches, and he's such a fantastic teacher. He has full scripts for these kind of things. But could you do that? Guess what? Some of them might say no. But you know what? Hustlers don't care. Hustlers absolutely don't care. This is something you can make a weekly round. You know, you could go to the diners, to the coffee shops, to the different places. Grab them and call them. Why not? And I'm going to talk about a couple other things here. But I'll tell you, these are people, they want to make more money, or they wouldn't be putting their business card out there. You know, they're not saying, please don't, they're not on the do not call list. Okay? I'm not suggesting you open up a phone book and just start calling people. Some of them are going to be on the do not call list. These are people that are professionals. They have their own business card, probably work on some sort of commission, and they want to make more money, so call them. Now, this is pretty interesting. Local Google alerts. Now, I've used this to a degree in my area, and it's actually worked out pretty well. And so what you actually set up is you set up with Google. Google has a thing called Google Alerts, and Google Alerts will alert you and send you a little email for any kind of news item on something that you choose, a search item, a search query that you choose. And so let's say you're in Seymour, Indiana. Okay, that's actually where I'm from. You could plug in a Google alert for Seymour, Indiana. Okay, and anything of newsworthy that happens in Seymour, Indiana, you get an email that tells you what happened. Okay, now the reason that I suggest this is I don't watch the news. It's too negative. I don't watch the news. I don't read the newspaper. I don't get into that. To me, I put positive stuff into my head, and so I like the fact that I can just be automatically notified if something happens in my area. Now, if someone received an award, if someone broke a sales record, if something good or bad, if a company closes down in your area. Right now, there's a lot of changes to the mortgage arena. A lot of people in mortgages are, as of April 1st, are going to start making a whole lot less money because Uncle Sam is changing the rules so that they can no longer make huge fees per loan. Well, isn't that something you should know? Well, if a mortgage company in your area goes under, wouldn't you want to know that? Might you want to reach out to the people and find out, hey, who worked there? Might you want to reach out to those people and give them a call? Hey, bummer, man, I heard about the closing. Just throwing it out there. Are you looking for a side project? Are you open to a side project? Make some extra money. You know, if you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. It may or may not be for you. You see how that works. Very, very powerful how you can set this up and connect with people local. I'm telling you, you know, I've been building in different areas, and if you can build a local army, you're gonna be very, very thankful for that. You really will, because then it'll get the attention of your primary company. You know, if you start building and putting butts in seats in your area, guess what's going to happen? You're going to have the leaders of your primary company come to that area, help you out, put on bigger events. You put on bigger events, that starts to build massive momentum. Okay? So you contact the people featured in the news item and prospect them. Build relationships. They're good people to know, especially if they won an award, especially if they just donated a bunch of money to charity. These are things, these are newsworthy items. Connect with them and at least say, hey, I saw you. You have something to talk to them about. Now, tactic number 10, people you actually meet. Now, you may be horrified at this. You may think, oh my God, Ray, you're actually going to have me, you know, walk up to people and actually talk to people, you know, and the answer is yes. Why not? Why not? That is what hustlers do. Okay? Now, my suggestion is don't explain or present and be busy. And let me explain that. Are you a hope or a hustler? A hustler talks to people that they meet. Okay? All about your attitude. Don't pitch them. Keep it loose. Talk to them about their family, occupation, recreation. And I'll tell you, a real easy one for me is, you know, I'll go up to somebody, and if they have a company shirt on or if they're walking out of an office, I'll just say, well, hey, oh, do you work there? Oh, you do? Oh, how long have you been there? Oh, okay. Well, what exactly do you guys do there? Okay, well, cool. What do you like about that? And I'll ask them. I'll just ask them questions. You know, if I may compliment them. Oh, I like those shoes. Oh, those are nice earrings. Oh, great necklace. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I love the hairdo. Right? I may make some comments to them, making some little compliments to them, and then I'll ask them. You know, almost like, you know, like I didn't mean to, like I that wasn't the plan. I'll say, hey, you know, just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there, right? My friend Larry likes to say, just change the channel up a bit here. But I like to say, just throwing it up, just throwing it out there. But would you be open to a side project that doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing? You know, I'm building here in this area, and I always like to connect with good people. And I'll tell you, if you approach it that way, 9 out of 10 will say one of two words, either yes or what is it? Okay? They'll say, well, what is it? Or they'll say yes. Okay? And then you tell them, here's how I follow that up with. And I hope you're taking notes on this. These are how I prospect. This is one of the key ways that I prospect. And I can easily, every single day, get 5 leads per day. You know, I dropped off my car at BMW, went inside, got 3 leads. Took me about 10 minutes. Just went in, asked a few questions, told them, oh, okay, I got to run. And that's why I say be busy. And you want to bring this up toward the end of the conversation, not in the very middle. Okay? But you have to run. Why? Because you're not there to do a presentation. You're not there to close them. You're not there to tell them how great the opportunity is. You're not there to do any of that nonsense. You're only there to connect with them, to get their information, and get the heck out of there. Then you're going to follow up with them. You're going to send them either an online video, you're going to send them your funnel, you're going to send them, you know, hey, I have this event that I'm having over here, physical event, conference call. You're going to hook them up with some kind of mechanism to do it. Now, I'll tell you, coming from someone, I mean, for my primary company, I've done my presentation over 900 times. That is not an exaggeration. I assure you, I've done it that many times. I've done it a bunch of times. There are days when I've done 5 webinars in a day, right? There are days when I've done 3 meetings in a day and done the same presentation. So I've done my presentation a million times. If I meet somebody, even if they're like, oh my God, that sounds awesome, I'd love to have a side project, I am not going to present to them. Why? because they can't present. They can't whip open a laptop and do a presentation. So it's all about duplication. You know, Eric Ward has made millions in network marketing. He says it doesn't matter what works, it only matters what duplicates. If you connect with them, get their information, get the heck out of there, follow them up with some kind of systemized approach, either an online video, a webinar, physical event, a conference call, that is something they can do. You see, whatever you do, your prospects are going to think they have to do. And if you do something, if you spend 45 minutes with them telling them about your comp plan and the bonuses and this and that and how great the product is and how it grows back limbs and, you know, Buddhist monks pick it, you know, that is not going to help your plight. Not going to help you. They're going to think they have to do that and they don't want to do that. So it's about speed. It's about speed. Get in there, get their information, get out of there. Hey, if you're interested, you know, just throwing it out there, but you're interested in a side project doesn't interfere with what you're currently doing, well, it may or may not be for you, but if you give me your information, I'll send you over a little video. Check it out. If you're interested, great. If not, no big deal. How simple is that? And you will never know if you're walking past the next top income earner. You'll never know unless you ask. And you also never know who they know. You don't know if they are best friends with some of the wealthiest people in town. You have no idea. And so don't miss the opportunity when you're out and about. Talk to these people. Don't try to close them. Just talk to them. Open up to them. Try to get their information and get out of there. Okay? Best line, I say it all the time. Would you be open to a side project if it didn't interfere with what you're currently doing? It's a very powerful line. You can use it all the time. Would anyone be offended by that line? I don't think so. I really don't. And so that is 10 different tactics, and each one of them will have you more than 5 leads per day. Now, every single prospect, you want to ask them. You know, if I'm leading with my primary company, which I do a lot of the times, I'm not saying not to. You know, it kind of depends on what your company is as far as your primary network marketing company. I lead with my company a lot, but that isn't necessarily how I would do every company if I was in a different company, okay? But if someone tells me no, I ask them this question: how are you doing with generating leads online? I send them my MLSP funnel, and guess what? Quite a few of them join. And don't you see, that's the power of Lead System Pro, is you get to profit from your no's. You know, people tell me no, I'm able to profit from. How cool is that? And I'll tell you, that's something that if you don't have something like that, you are missing out on a certain amount of money. Ask them. Say, hey, well, how are you doing with generating automatic leads from Twitter? 9 out of 10 are going to say, I have no idea how to do that, Ray. No idea. Send them your Twitter funnel. It's already set up. Even if you're brand new, send that to them. Check them, have them check it out. Ask for referrals. Every single prospect. Don't miss out. You know, I've heard many stories of people that said no, but someone asked for that referral, and that referral ended up being a big-time person. So don't leave that out, okay? And don't forget your warm list. You know, I had to bring this up. There are people on here that say, oh, you don't understand, Ray. I can't talk to my friends and family. No, not going to happen. Okay, well, you're talking to a person who has failed at about 11 different network marketing companies over a 5-year span. That's how bad I was, okay? And then to go on to become the #1 income earner in my company, okay? That's how bad I was. So I can tell you, I had pitched my warm list everything possible. But I pitched them one more thing. But I did it in a way because I was trained properly. I called them. I said, hey, may or may not be interested, but I just got involved in this business. You know, if you're interested, I'll send you a video. If not, no big deal. See, I didn't burn them out. I didn't beat them over the head. I didn't chase them. I didn't beg them. I didn't bug them. Okay? And in fact, I put a little note here about Mike Dillard. We were at the awesome, one of the best events I've ever been to, Live the Dream event in Las Vegas with the MLSP guys.